Hi everyone, my name is Lamarcia. I am going to talk to you today. I use my platform. First off, I use one of my platforms as advertisement. I am the owner and operator of For Show Tees, Custom Print and Design. Also, I have another platform, which is my YouTube channel, and that's Lamarcia Weeks at 1973. And also my Facebook page, Lamarcia Weeks. And I'm gonna talk with you today. A concern of mine is businesses. I've owned and operated over 4, maybe 5 businesses. And the thing that concerns me in today's world, we have businesses that they're just in operation. They have no integrity. They're not concerned about their customers and how they feel. But the foremost thing is no integrity. That is a pet peeve for me. There will be a part 1 and there's going to be a part 2. In my reviews, I'm not going to name the particular businesses. However, I am going to tell you the field that they were in. And I'm just going to start this off. I test services and products so that you won't have to. That's my part-time. That's what I do part-time. What I do full-time, people don't know. I am a licensed and certified inspector and auditor. So I do inspect and audit businesses as well. And I do that full-time. Don't be surprised if you may see me come to your business. Again, I am a licensed inspector and auditor. But getting back to, and I guess I'm in this field because it's a pet peeve to me. I've owned several businesses, and I've operated with integrity. I operate in the core values of what the Bible says. And the first thing is we're to do everything in excellence. So with that being said, just recently had an experience, a very bad experience with one of the businesses. Recently, my father passed away. And I didn't know anything about planning, or the first thing about handling anything as far as with the funeral arrangements. I did have family members that pitched in and helped out, and I am grateful for that. However, we were referred to a particular funeral home. And again, that funeral home will remain nameless. However, when we first got to them, nice people. They appear to be nice. Nice people. However, when you're in business, you as the business owner need to know your craft. You need to know your craft inside and out. You're there to provide a service for people. Not just to make money, you're there to provide a service. As I was saying, again, you need to know your craft inside and out. If you're there to provide a service, you need to know that service. You need to provide that service. Going back to what I was saying about, I didn't know anything about planning a funeral. However, this particular company was referred to me. Now, I'm at this point depending on you to know what you're doing, to be honest. And I'm just a genuine person about honesty. Being honest. Keep in mind that I just actually lost my father, and to top it all off, I had a major surgery. And I'm just giving you a little background as to what was going on with me. Back to the matter at hand. So I'm depending on you as the service provider to know exactly what you're doing, to tell me what I need to do, the next steps of 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5, A, B, and C. I need you to lead me. Well, the company at first appeared to know what they were doing, but again, I use the word again, appeared. Now, I didn't know, and I kind of found things out when I went. It was some ironic incident that happened, and it kind of questioned it. The questions came back to the actual funeral home. It was information that they failed to tell me. They failed to tell me that if I was going to buy a headstone, that it was my job to contact the cemetery and actually get information from the cemetery. But keep in mind, the cemetery, when I did talk with the cemetery, they told me that the actual person from the funeral home was supposed to give me that information. They knew what their qualifications are, or what they needed, what I needed to know in order to get a actual headstone. So with that being said, when I contacted the company, keep in mind, I bought a headstone off of Amazon. Again, I had no idea, and I want to interject something in there. The Bible says, my people are destroyed for a lack of knowledge. I'm going to say that again. My people are destroyed for a lack of knowledge. So, with that being said, I didn't know anything about buying a headstone. I just went on Amazon and I bought a headstone. I bought a headstone and I actually put it down. My siblings and I, we went out and we put the headstone down, not knowing that that was not the proper way of doing things. Again, I looked to the funeral home and the cemetery to lead me in the right direction. You're the experts. I'm not. And again, I want to bring light to some things. So if you're ever in the business and you're needing a funeral service, check around. You can't just use everybody. And again, this particular funeral home was recommended to me by somebody that was close to me. When I do business, it's never personal. It's business. The funeral home misled me. They didn't give me the proper information. They failed to tell me some of the things that they knew that I needed to know in regards to my dad's funeral service. And that was one of them. And that's how it began with the actual headstone. From my understanding, this particular funeral home was just beginning. They were just starting out. And so my siblings and I wanted to just give them an opportunity, give them a chance. We gave them a chance. And I'm just speaking candidly. I'm being honest. It was a nightmare because they failed to give me information that I needed to know. They were the experts, not me. So again, check around. They came referred. I tried to have a positive attitude and not actually get upset with the person that referred them to me. However, keep in mind, I'm just losing my father. I've lost my father. I've had a major surgery. So I had things going on. Again, I'm looking for the experts to actually give me step by step what I needed to do in order to bury my father. Things just started coming out like, they did not lead me properly. And the thing that got me was they never took accountability. One of the owners actually told me that they would just discount me. They apologize, but will discount me on the next funeral that I would have to plan. No empathy there. No empathy. Lack of customer service. You never tell somebody that. Choose your words wisely. You never tell somebody on the next family funeral, I'll just discount you. Again, that was a lack of empathy. So, again, trying to put it all together. When we're running a business, customer service is first and foremost. You need to be an expert in your field of business. I did make a lot of complaints against this funeral home because, again, I felt like you should have known. You were the expert. You were supposed to lead me. There were things that they did, like I failed to get the proper documentation. Even when you're burying somebody, you're supposed to get a receipt. It's not even called a receipt. I don't actually know what the paperwork is called. However, you're supposed to get documentation of the burial. You're supposed to be informed of the next steps. You're supposed to get an itemized statement. I didn't get that. Again, this was in a time that I needed help. So with that being said, I want to keep emphasizing, as a business owner, you need to know your craft. You need to know your craft inside and out. Because people are looking to you. They're looking to you as the expert. They don't know. I have a business. I have a business of my own that I'm running, and that's a a customized t-shirt business. So when people come to me, they're looking to me to be the expert in customizing their t-shirts or any other merchants that they have. Customer service is a major thing. You're not just exchanging money. You're wanting to make sure that your customer is satisfied. That company, that funeral home, they did not. I was not satisfied. They did not bother to rectify the problem. They did not take ownership. They did not take accountability for their errors. Again, being a business owner, you're going to sometimes make mistakes. I get that. I understand that. You need to be willing as a business owner to take accountability, to take ownership when you mess up. I also want to say again, I referred, but I'm going to say this as well. I'm looked at as the bad guy. But again, whether you referred me or not, it's your job. You are the expert. It's your job to provide a service. And I'm saying that, and I don't want to, I don't mean to sound harsh, but we have to tell the truth about things. And this is a big ordeal to me. As business owners, we get into being self-employed, but you can get people to come in your doors all the time. But a real business owner will be able to keep their customers. I could have used them because people are dying every day. We have family members. We have friends. I could have used them for other funeral arrangements or funeral services. But because of the experience that I had, and they never took the time to even address the issue, I made the complaint. You could have addressed me, but they didn't. They went back and talked to the person that referred me, but no one ever came to address the issue. Keep in mind that I'm going through some crises in my life. So again, as a business owner, it is your job to be the expert. It is your job to provide that excellent service. Again, there will be a part 2 to this. I don't want to hold you too long, but there's going to be a part 2 to this. So my advice is, again, from my professional standpoint, again, I told you I'm an inspector and I'm an auditor, licensed. And my advice is we need to do better with our businesses. If we're going to get into businesses, you need to learn your craft, every area, and you need to be able to provide that excellent customer service. And again, right today, even now, they never reached out to say, hey, we apologize. How can we make this right? It was about the money. You told me that, well, you know, we can't give you back your money that you spent on the headstone. But I wasted my money on the headstone because I can't use it at that particular cemetery. And only to find out, and it was confirmed by the cemetery that they knew, because apparently they've done business before, so they were made aware of the cemetery's policies. So this is just the beginning of what me giving reviews and just giving some practical points as a business owner to running a business. So, just be mindful of your customers. If you're going to be a business owner, I can't even say it enough. Know your craft inside and out. Know every aspect of your business. Be mindful of your customers. They're coming to you for a service. Don't treat them as though they're a burden to you. Because without your customers, you wouldn't be able to provide for your own self. You need your customers. So again, I just be mindful of that as a business owner. If you make a mistake, don't go back to the person that referred. You need to address the mistake with the customer. So these are some practical tips. Again, I'm going to be doing more videos and lives. You can follow me on Facebook, Lamarcia Weeks, and or you can look me up on my YouTube channel, Lamarcia Weeks 1973. I appreciate your time, and there will be a part 2. Thank you.